When I ride, I like to stay on the sidewalks. Maybe this early in the morning, I could get away with the street. But it's dangerous here in LA. I think that's part of what I like about it though. When I'm having like a little anxiety attack, my brain often goes to places where it's like, and then this, and then this, and then this. Going on a long ride helps me a lot. I'm gonna go in the street. Because after you face 3 or 4 near-death experiences, you realize that the little things don't matter. Just being able to go home at night and kiss your loved ones, that's really what's important. And LA always helps me remember that just being alive is the greatest gift of all. Well, something's going on down here. Let's take a closer look. Maybe this is as close as we should get. I got out a little late today. I usually try to get on the street by 5 a.m. I got up at 4:30, but I was, you know, lollygagging. Something's going on all the way down there. Let's see if we can get a little closer. It's like the whole street's gone. Oh, I see it. There's a fire. Oh man, look at this. Wild. Let's see if we can get a better look through the parking lot here. Brightly here. All I can say is this: God bless our fire department. These individuals, men and women, are fearless. Their job is to put themselves in harm's way for the good of the community, right? They train for it. Obviously they're trying to be safe, they help each other, but they're like, imagine if your job was to be in danger. It's like being in the military. I know the police get a bad rap, they do the same thing. Like I don't want to go into all the politics of it, but like, we have people in our community that are actually trying to help us. You know, city employees. You know what I mean? Just, they're not all bad. I guess that's no one wants to hear that, but when you see stuff like this, it's like, this is their job. Their job is to help us stay safe. And I kind of love that. I wish we were, you know, I wish I was more like that. I wish more of us were like that. All right, well, I think I've seen enough fire today. Well, it looks like they have it contained, even though it's still smoldering. It's not an open flame, and they don't seem to be running around scared. So I'm gonna leave the professionals to do what the professionals do. And I will be like the rest of us now and read about this in the papers tomorrow. Are there papers? Is there tomorrow? Speaking of buildings, there's the graffiti tower. Surprised that building never caught fire. What a disaster that was. Half built, 3/4 built, abandoned. I mean, it was interesting when they added, I mean, it's impressive, the artwork and the graffiti and the stuff they put on it, but also what a mess for our city. Good morning, good morning. We should have things that work instead of being abandoned. Downtown LA is full of empty buildings. We wouldn't realize it, but from looking at it, it looks like it's a, you know, big full city. When I first started working here, I was a sound mixer and I worked in commercials, and we would shoot downtown. Like my very first shoot downtown was this New York City style apartment, and we went in and the building was empty. There was like one person per floor, and I'm like, this can't be the way that it is. But it was, and I realized in that moment, it was the early 2000s, most of the buildings downtown were empty. They had been sitting empty since the mid-90s, early 80s. Like, in this 20-year span, people just sat on these apartments, and now they've been turned into high-end apartments, and people are buying them, but they're still sitting on them. Most people are looking at it like as an investment, a place to park their cash, especially foreign investment, which isn't a bad thing, but it's like our cities, especially downtown, is pretty empty. You wouldn't know it, but it is. Yeah, it looks like I don't see the smoke anymore. It looks like they got it under control. Good people of Earth. Look at the gas prices here. In the movie, it was supposed to show a post-apocalyptic world where gas was $6 a gallon, and that was supposed to show how crazy life had gotten. And here we are. Are we living in post-apocalyptic world and we don't realize it? Is that the reality that we refuse to accept? Gas is like $6, $7 a gallon. Consistently, not just at that one spot in Chinatown. It feels like the world ended and nobody got the memo. All the billionaires moved to their bunkers and sent robots, facsimiles, to be their face in the world. And we're just here like pretending. I feel like we're still setting up tables while the Titanic is sinking. Or maybe worse, we're underwater. We're still like, hey, would you get that napkin? Why is that napkin so wet? Oh yeah, because we're underwater. Morning. He said, no recording or I'll smack you. God bless Los Angeles. God bless Los Angeles. No recording or I'll smack you. I mean, he was polite enough to at least give me a warning, which I didn't record him, by the way. I wasn't trying to point it in his face. See, okay, here's a good example. That happened, and now my body feels a little bit like, you know what I mean? And I have to like process that. I have to choose at this moment to let that go, right? The threat was there. Somebody threatened me. But now I have to just breathe in and out and go, knuckleheads are everywhere. He didn't actually do anything. It's the same thing I was saying yesterday or the other day when I ran into those kids on the scooter. Like stranger danger. You know, you never know what reaction people are going to have. They might seem like they're nice, and then all of a sudden they're not. I'm just trying to have a good time, express myself, explore the world, explore myself. I'm not trying to hurt anybody, get anyone's way. Don't shoot me or I will smack you. All right, buddy. All right, calm down. Calm down. Yeah, he just went on his way. But again, I have a choice right now to let this anxious feeling I'm feeling build, turn into the skid. Oh, get my negative. Right now, my brain is like, okay, get those negative colors out. Get those paintbrushes. What's the paintbrush for sadness? Get that scraper. That's good for hate. Fear? Oh man, that's a big one. It's like a big sponge. It's like a big sponge I use. It was like the other day I was riding around in my neighborhood in South Central where I live, and somebody screamed out something really bad at me, and it really hurt me. It really hurt me because I was just riding my bike. I wasn't bothering anybody. And I just felt like ostracized and lonely and separated. You know, not the first person to feel that, all right? Nothing new about that. But again, when you leave the house, the safety of the house, when you leave your couch, you're accepting that something good can happen and something bad can happen. Getting smacked, bad. Empirically, a bad thing. But also, you know, finding a new friend, seeing somebody say hello. Plenty of people were nice to me. Just that one guy, but it's only takes, what's that old saying? Only takes one rotten apple to ruin the bunch. Okay, here we go. The tunnel. You might recognize this tunnel from such movies as Blade Runner and Blade Runner. When it rains in this tunnel, oh my Lord, is it nice. There are a few holes or drains or leaks, I don't know, but the water just drips down in this most amazing, peaceful way. In a liminal space, which I guess all tunnels technically, literally are. Technically, literally, that's a medical term, if I ever heard one. Technically, literally, you have cancer, and you're not gonna make it. But a liminal space such as a tunnel should be a scary space, should be a place you don't find comfort. But whenever it rains, I try to walk over here and enjoy the moment. It makes me feel, it's like the illusion of safety was burst. I am not safe right now. Anything can happen. Anything. There are chances, percentages attached to the things that can happen. But, you know, one wrong move and my life changes radically. And I'm looking at a very different rearing experience. And I have to just accept that, you know, most of the days, most of us live in a little bubble where we pretend things are gonna be okay. And then something happens, you're like, what? I didn't expect it. But the truth is, dude, life is tough for everyone. You know, it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Whoa. There's something that's, you know, you're vulnerable, something that can happen at any moment. All right, but I'm not gonna let that guy get to me. You can see I'm struggling with it. I feel this pit in my stomach now of fear. I wish I was with someone. Someone could have protected me. Someone could have stopped him. Someone else would have known what to say to him. Like, dude, you see the camera in your face? Back off, brother. Shut up, man. Do your own thing, dude. Sorry, man. You know what I mean? Anything. Tough, apologetic. I don't think I said anything. I'm gonna have to go back and check the tapes. I think I just deer in a headlight because I'm a wimp, I'm a pussy, right? A man would have stood up to him. A man would have picked a fight. Anyway, I'm struggling with this. This is like, I just felt a vulnerability that triggered something. I feel it ricocheting around in my body. I'll say this though, isn't it interesting? By the way, here's our library. One of my favorite places and one of the greatest resources in Los Angeles, just as a little side note. Built in 1926, I think. This is not a place you're gonna come for a history lesson. But I feel it, let me get back to the guy. I feel it ricocheting around in my body, and it's like a bell that's rung. Yeah, it's over, Seth, but I can feel the resonant, you know, wah, 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 wah. I always felt weaker than everybody else and more vulnerable, wherever that comes from. You know, I have to deal with it. I always pick strong friends, people who protect me. And I realized later in life, oh man, I'm not taking care of myself. and it all fell apart. I don't know if you've been there, where if you don't take care of yourself, if you hide something under a rock, you think it's gone. But then years later, it's like an abscess that's been festering, and you didn't realize it. And all of a sudden one day, oh, I don't feel so good, and you collapse and you wake up in the hospital because you've had an infection all your life. It was just hiding, and that's how it was for me. We can go into that in another time. I have a podcast, actually, episode 5 talks about where my abscess started. All right, so this is how it is for me. I can't do jumps, so I gotta walk my bike now. I love my bike. I'm just not very agile on it. Okay, I do see do I see a bike path? No. But I do see a nice sidewalk. I'm gonna take that. Okay. All right, what did we learn today? We learned that people are mean, and that you've got to let it roll off your back like water off a duck's back. We got to be ducks. We learned that we have control over our own emotions. No, we didn't learn anything. Okay, I'm going to end this ride in the same place I started it, in front of my favorite bike shop, Just Ride LA. I hope today didn't feel too much like a hostage situation. But we cruised through downtown. We saw a fire. We celebrated the men and women of the city of Los Angeles that are here to protect us, the fire department and the police department and the other public services. Thank you. But we also ran into a knucklehead who legitimately, rightfully so, requested me not to film him, which I wasn't. But then he followed it up with a threat, which is the knucklehead part. And it bothered me. It ricocheted inside of me, like a bell that had been rung, because I have activations, I have triggers that make me feel vulnerable when people threaten me, because I never felt strong enough to take care of myself. That's a whole other episode. But I breathed in and out on it, and I processed it in the best way I can. Check out my podcast. It talks a lot about the things that, where my stories come from. I'm getting there. And this is all part of the process. Thank you for joining me today.